Thank you, Jackie, for all those beautiful words. Okay, so let's begin with my presentation. So I am very excited to be here because you are always giving me energy to do this work. It's for me a pleasure to be with you. And I have my beautiful team right there. As you can see, they are a beautiful team. They are young. They are millennial generation. Anyway, so what we are going to talk more about the millennial generation right now. So we are introducing today the Girl Squad brand that for sure maybe you have been listening about this brand, but we are going to talk about things that you may not you don't know yet. So this is the U.S. population. As you can see, we have different segments. The distribution is different. So the first one is this segment that is very important for young adults from 40 years old to 59. This is the biggest segment. And we do have products for this segment, right? We have royal jelly, we have makeup, we have fragrances. But I would like to talk about this second segment that is very important. Is becoming very important is from the 20 years old to the 39 years old. And this is the millennial generation. So have you heard about the millennial generation, right? So why is so important? Because they are becoming a very important segment in the industry. They are finishing their studies. They are beginning to earn money. So they are growing. They are not growing because they born already, but they are the segment that born between the 1980 to 2000. Okay, so for sure you have many people that you know that are millennials, right? So I have my team, for example, they want to be general managers tomorrow, right? No, just kidding. So this generation has different characteristics from the other generation. For example, they are like they have different priorities for them. Something that is important for the baby boomers, for example, is not important for the millennial generation. They want to live life. For them, live life is the most important thing. I want to live my life as I want to live it. So, for example, my son is 27 years old and he's millennial. He's a very pure millennial. So he's the owner of his life. He's the owner of everything. He's the owner of our body. His bathroom and our bathroom. It's depending on where he wants to take the shower today, right? So he used to take the shower and sing all like 1 hour with Frank Sinatra or Queen, you know. So he's adorable. So when we are when we have an event, for example, the other day we have a wedding, and I told him, please, Rory, can you please take your shower right now, 9 o'clock in the morning, and the wedding is at 12, right? Yes, ma'am. And he's 27. So, okay. So, long story short, we left him. So, we went to the wedding, and 2 p.m. he shows up. So, but he's not like, hey, I'm here. No. Hey guys, how are you? Like very obvious that he's late. You know? So, oh my God. Well, he's like that, right? And the millennials are very, they are a little selfish, but they have, well, a lot. But yes, you are right. But they have a difference that makes them very charismatic, very good. They are positive. They can deal with everything, and they can get knows they are like they have faith. Faith is they think that they can with everything, no? So they are positive. That is what I am in love of the millennials. That's why I am in love with my team, for example. No, they do everything. They are your marketing team. They are always thinking on you. No, I have to tell them. No, well, I have to put them in the floor sometimes, but they are wonderful. I love this team. So I would like to bring my team to explain about Girl Squad because I think they are going to do this perfect for you. So please welcome to Andrea and Alex. They are going to present. I'm so proud of these ladies because they are hard workers and they love what they do. So thank you very much, guys, and present the band.
Thank you, Diana. I say this every time, but we wouldn't be anything without this woman right here. So let's give her a round. She has been to 12 cities in the last 3 weeks, and I booked her travel, so I don't think I could ever do that. And she's not a millennial, so we're really excited to be here. My name's Alex, and Andrea, hi everyone. And we're here to present you with Girl Squad. So Deanna talked about this idea between the millennial generation, but we're also known as the selfie generation, right? We're always taking selfies, loving ourselves. We're selfish. But we're also misunderstood, right, Deanna? We're a little misunderstood. But we focus on this idea between connecting us between brands and technology. So that's why we're known as a selfie generation.
Also, one thing that I wanted to point out about the millennial young women that you are all seeking to be part of your businesses is how they learn about information, right? We're very used to speaking with one another, picking up the phone, doing a quick phone call, maybe they're shooting an email, or you guys are very good about having your own groups, like group messages, things like that. But for the millennials, how we discover information, if you think about it, has always been from a screen. We don't know any other way to receive information other than through a computer, cell phones, tablets, right? And it's always by way of discovery. And there's no way for us to discover anything about Jafra unless we are all not present online. And so that's why it's very, very important for us as a Jafra team to really utilize all the resources in which that we are supporting all of our businesses online. And so you're always going to hear us say it over and over again, to be present on social media, being connected and being consistent and active as well, because a lot about how we find information is not just by one time, oh, I'm going to remember it. It's consistency. And you're gonna keep hearing that word throughout the day from all of us, is consistency. And so anyways, this is what I want to share. And so about Girl Squad, it's very, very exciting for me as well. I've been with Jafra now almost 4 years. And it's super, super exciting now that not only are we, launching brands, but lasting, meaningful brands. And Girl Squad immediately spoke to all of us in the office, inspired all of us to do, amazing, great activities with each and every one of you in regards to this brand. And I love the tagline, our adventure, our way. And that's really the true essence about Jafra. You do Jafra the way you want to do it. And this brand is whatever adventure means to you, is how you want to do it, but with your squad, right? And so the essence of this brand is who really believe that, we see the world better together. Everything we do that is so true with one another, we always want to be together, do things together, because for us, it's it's more important to gain experiences versus gather material things. So think about that when you're trying to sponsor a young millennial. Maybe the income opportunity is not maybe the first thing you say, but rather the experiences that you're going to have with one another, because that's really our focus, is having those selfie moments that you can just share immediately and make everyone you know jealous that they're not there but you are, right?
Yeah.
So a little bit more about how Girl Squad was created. Of course, we're looking at this millennial audience, so we're really focused on those 18 to 20-something-year-olds who believe that this world is better together. And Andrea mentioned it, and I'm going to say it again, but better together is so important to us because we're always being teared down. I mean, just in this world with so many bad things happening, we tend to stick together. We tend to be a squad, right? So, so how do we do this? How do we incorporate this into a lovely collection? We were inspired by the tools to give you this idea to become better together. So we looked at a group of women who were liberated, who were confident, who were inspired by celebrating their lives, but not just their lives. We aren't so selfish. The lives of other people, the lives around us. And that holds true to Jafra, right? Paulo mentioned our mission, transforming the lives of other people. We want to transform the other lives of other people, but also through different generations.
So this is just an overview of the branded collection as a whole. The setting for this brand in which it lives is music festivals. Right now, music festivals is a very popular American staple, if you will. Are you even really a millennial if you're not attending a music festival at least once or twice a year? And so that is really the setting, if you will, for the brand. So everything that you would need to get your squad ready before you head off to this music festival is in this collection.
It's like the pre-party.
Yeah.
The pre-party to the party, right? So you're getting ready with your girls, you're celebrating so much before you actually get to the event, right? We talk about this experience. It's all about the experience. So when we look at the brand as a whole, we focused on the festival, but also personality, right? So within a squad, we looked at 3 very specific different personalities. So you have Alex, and she's my favorite. I mean, I didn't name her, but I'd like to think so. I have the most connection with her. She's the charming one. She's the one you go to when you need advice. She's always happy and always just the one that you want to be surrounded by. And then you have Danny. She's the sweet one. She's the shoulder that you cry on. She's the empathetic and sympathetic one of the group. And then you have Sam, and she's the funny one. She's always cracking the joke. You can't go anywhere. You can't take any car ride without her. And all 3 of these women make up the perfect squad.
And if you think about it, all of us in our own group of friends are squads in their own right, right? Sometimes I take a look at my own group of friends and think, wow, we're all really different, but we all love and lean on one another. And that is, symbolic of any of our group of friends, right? We all have our different quirks and personalities, but yet we all still manage to unite and really, become one. And so that's just really the representation of Girl Squad as a whole.
So then we go into the brand identity. We talk about everything that makes this brand what it really is. And it's the expressions that we gain and pull out from this brand. So you start off with the charisma, being yourself, but with others. There's nothing that makes this collection more unique than the charisma. The spontaneity, going out to those music festivals, doing things with a drop of a hat, just ready for anything always. And then you have the idea of better together. And I mean, we keep mentioning this idea of better together, but we really are better together when you're with your group of girls. And I think,
Can you explain with your squad? Can you explain why the name of squad is?
Like what it means for a squad?
Yes, I have a question that why we are using the word squad.
Squad is just a term that millennials are very, very familiar with. It immediately, when you say it, brings a sense of unity. And we love naming our own squads. We have our own personal crazy name for our squad, at work. And if you really think about it, we all have our own identity. We have our identities within ourselves, but then we have an identity as a group, and without even really realizing it, sometimes, seriously, 3 times a week, at least 3 times a week, her and I come dressed to work exactly the same color from head to toe, and because we're always together, that she is literally one leg of my squad, and so you kind of mold automatically in that way. And so just squad is just really, at the end of the day, just it's
terminology that we're familiar with.
Togetherness.
Yeah.
Really.
It's also
really
trendy.
Yeah.
I think Taylor Swift had this huge upbringing of the word squad. She was kind of the one who termed it in a way, but it's become this really, really, really trendy word within our society and within our generation. So that's why.
And a lot about the meaning of a squad, talking about posting, snap-worthy things online to create FOMO, which means fear of missing out, amongst other people, like I'm here and you're not type of thing, right? That's the same thing. That's the same thing with squad. This is our squad. You want to be a part of it, right? And if you think about it, that's in a different way of thinking about having people to join JAFRA. By us sharing our experiences together online, automatically makes everybody we know jealous and want to be a part of that. And really, that's what you do when you share JAFRA. Your passion and experience comes through the screen and inspires other people like, wow, I really want to be a part of that. I wanted to do that. It's the same thing, but it's just different verbiage in a different way of saying it and how a millennial understands it.
I think the next slide, if I do remember correctly, is our video. So it's the essence of this brand. It's fun. It's shareable. If you haven't written this down by the end of the day or haven't memorized it, it's available on social.jafra.com. I don't see a lot of you writing this down. So social.jafra.com. Lily and I did a wonderful tutorial on our Facebook page, Jafra Beauty Insiders, to walk you through a step-by-step of how to use it. There's also a how-to video within the page. So all of the content that you're seeing here today is available to you to use, to share. If you share, well, I think I did better. If you share, sorry. Well, if you care, you share. If you share, same thing. Anyway, so without further ado, who's going to So where is that available?
Social.jafra.com. So now introducing the collection. So the collection is complete from start to finish with a fragrance and very beautiful color items. The cornerstone of the collection, of course, is the fragrance, which we'll get into. So here you have the exterior packaging of the fragrance, and then you have the bottle, and we would like.
You're gonna be able to smell the fragrance. It's gonna be passed around so that you can smell all the notes that Andrea will go further in depth.
You will get a mini today, but we are not giving away right now because you are going to perceive another kind. So by now, we are only using the paper.
Yeah. So we talk about fragrances different at Japper, right? We don't just say, here's a bottle, go and sell it. We want you to understand from beginning to end what goes into a fragrance, fall in love with the fragrance, know each and every part of it so that you can truly speak to it when you're talking to people. So fragrances are experienced in three sections, if you will. There are the top notes, the heart notes, and the base notes. The top notes are the part of the fragrance that you're going to perceive first when you first spritz this fragrance. So the top notes are fresh white nectarine, which brings out the sweet and playfulness part of the fragrance. Then you have the heart of the fragrance, which, how I like to explain it is what you're going to remember the most when you experience this fragrance, which are freesia and free florals, which bring out the femininity of the fragrance. And finally, you have the base of the fragrance, okay, where most of those scents linger, if you will, which is the vanilla and red musk, which brings out the joy and the sensuality. Remember that when you're thinking about fragrances, to think about them in a different way versus just how they look and maybe what you first experienced, but rather that it is three very independent parts.
So then we go into the color, and like Andrea mentioned, the fragrance is the hero of this collection. And we built the color on top of this fragrance. So when we look at the color, it's bold, it's beautiful, it's shareable, it's festival approved. The palette is absolutely beautiful with these large square pans that have these bold, beautiful colors of peace, dream, magic, and love. And then we have these really cute mini lip glosses, which I think will be a great attraction for these young ladies. And it pays homage, all these names pay homage to what Jasper's culture is about. So one of them is named Guapas, which if you don't know, it's pretty little lady. And you have besties, you have squad, and they're just wonderfully packaged in a really cute bottle. And then you have two eyeliners. If you don't like one, you'll love the other, right? Leather, which is a nice brown, deep brown color, and then feather, which is this beautiful bright blue. And we'll be going into looks today so that you'll see exactly how each of these products is to be used.
So we have the first look here, and when you first take a look at the palette, you may think like, wow, what would I do with those four colors? But when you take a look at a palette, remember that you don't need all four colors to create a look. So we hope that this inspires you to go out there and create your own looks. This look in particular comes from Danny. And so the products used in this look are going to be the lightest color in the palette and the pink and the purple. And so we'll show you right now a video to inspire. Very, very appropriate for social, by the way, to share something like this, which is again available on social.jasper.com. We're going to shamelessly plug it. This look, I was very inspired at 4 in the morning to do this on myself.
It's because it's Alex.
This is my favorite look by far that our models are wearing. And basically what I did was I took that pink color on my lid, popped that white color right in the corner, and brought that teal right under my eyes. And let's see how Alex achieved it. These lip glosses always live with us now. They're always in our room. And if you haven't tried them, I really encourage you to. They're not sticky at all. They're very hydrating. Jafra has a very beautiful way in taking those annoying things about beauty products out. So they're beautiful and light and just perfect for every day, and throw it in my pocket and my purse. I love it.
Glosses are back for
Yes.
sure.
And then we have one final look to show you. This is from our model, Sam. I love this look because it really, really brings out the teal in the collection. Let's see how she did it. So really, the essence of this is there's no wrong way to wear these colors at all whatsoever. And if you go online and search the hashtag Jafra Girl Squad, you will see a lot of different people who have posted pictures online with that hashtag, then using the products, using the colors. So I encourage you all to not only go online and see them, but also create your own.
There's like no wrong way to wear this palette.
No.
You can see even Sam, she paired the eyeshadow as a eyeliner, and then that was half of her eye, and then the other half was the actual tip eyeliner. So it's pretty cool. Yes.
Some of our eyeshadows are good to use as wet or dry. Is this the same with these?
This
Yes.
is the same consistency as our felt tip eyeliner.
Thank you so much.
And just as a tip, when you want to make a product wet, what you're talking about, usually you want to make it wet to be more vibrant. Instead of just water, I would encourage you to use our setting spray. So you put the product on your brush, spray the setting spray onto the brush, and then apply. Because the setting spray does two things. It makes it wet, but it holds it. Okay, so our official launch for this brand was, of course, in your holiday sale brochure that you all got beginning September 24th. We also had a press launch back in August. And then we've also developed a microsite along with the launch. So for those of you who don't know, if you go on to jafragirlsquad.com, this is where actually this brand is going to live. It's going to be the content hub for it. So if you know of any young ladies who would be interested in this collection, it's a great place to send them to learn more about it. They get to see the products up close. They get to see the inspiration. They get to see the looks. There's face charts on there. There's videos. JafraGirlSquad.com. Okay.
We'll go more into it.
Yes.
You'll see it.
And there's a lot of fun things going on. There's a contest going on there right now. There's a lot of quizzes that are like BuzzFeed type quizzes, if you're familiar with that on Facebook. Super appropriate for this target market for sure. So I encourage you to go on there as well. We also have an e-brochure available with this brand. So if you go onto your personal websites and you see your e-brochures, those are also available for you to immediately share out as well. And then we also have a new lead generation site. So on Jafra.com, under the Become a Consultant page, it would make no sense for us really to target this demographic, but not also, while we have their attention, speak to them about the opportunity. So on the Become a Consultant page, we have given that a new facelift and changed the verbiage there to speak directly to millennial, how they would want to hear about the business. So if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to go on there. and you can take a look and send people there that you know.
So on August 29th, we did an amazing press launch. We got to travel to New York, Andrea and I, as well as Gina, who was the head of creating this collection in Worldwide. And we got to go to a Lady Gaga concert. We took 2 millennial consultants, and they had an absolute blast. But what the most impressive part was we got to meet a ton of press, a few listed on this slide here, and they fell in love with this brand. They were so inspired by the bold, beautiful colors. A lot of them have already reached out to us, are writing articles, are planning on writing articles to go out in early next year. So we're out there, our name is out there. People are really, really hooked on this collection. But not only were they inspired by this collection, but they were inspired by our brand as a whole, Jafra Cosmetics. And they really saw the honesty, the commitment, and the true connection that not only we have as employees, but also you have as consultants. And what makes our jobs absolutely worthwhile is meeting all of you. We got to meet just those girls, Ruth from Las Vegas and Marissa from Oregon, and we were completely inspired by them. And that's why we do our jobs every day, and that's why we love what we do. So the press had so many wonderful things to say. I could only fit a few of these on the slide, but Liz Ryder from New Beauty said, "Thank you so much for last night. It was a blast. The setup and everything was super impressive. Thank you for inviting us, and I'll be in touch." So we got to take these, the press on this little party bus in the pouring rain, no less. The one day it rained, but it made it absolutely incredible because Lady Gaga was at her best. It was in her hometown, and they were so impressed by the event, and they just couldn't stop talking about it. Sally Kaplan from bestproducts.com said, "That was amazing. Thank you so much for thinking of me and putting forth so much effort in such seamless and well thought out event. Every detail was perfect."
Yeah, so I just wanted to mention that, if you can imagine for a second, we had about 25 young women editors from different websites and magazines who had never probably heard of Jafra before. It was our first experience to be in front of them for the first time. And the setting and backdrop of everything was just perfect. And what really resonated with me the most was their interest in Jafra, but as an opportunity for women. We were speaking to a lot of strong women in their own right in their industry. And so to see them, eager for more and want to learn more about Jafra was also very, very inspiring for me.
This was just a compilation video of what we experienced. There's Ruth and Marissa. We gave them Girl Squad jackets, and everything was branded from the moment you walked onto the bus till, of course, until the end. Well, that's cool. So you can see here the brand being explored. We had ponchos because it was raining, soaking wet, but it was so much fun, so much fun. And there was us on the party bus. What happened to you? And they got to play and test the products right here. There's Andrea and I soaking wet in New York City, hailing a cab. And of course, at the stadium, there's Dina. And of course, Lady Gaga. Mm. It's available until October 22nd, and that's a hard October 22nd. So the brochure opens with Girl Squad. We have really great offers available to you and your clients to experience the entire collection. And what's really great about these offers is it's designed so that you can have the fragrance and the eyeliner, or the fragrance and the lip gloss or the palette, and the whole collection as itself. So this holiday preview and e-brochure also comes with other things that you'll see today as Deanna goes through them, but the opening is focused on Girl Squad, of course, our #1 launch and focus. And then we have available sampling. So on October 1st, they were available to purchase. You could get the vials or the stencil to sample the fragrance. And did you all enjoy it today?
Yes.
It's a very nice fruity floral, right? And then Andrea talked a little bit about the microsite. This microsite is absolutely incredible. It's so interactive. There's so much shareable content. I keep going on every day and I'm like, oh, I didn't share this. Oh no, I forgot this. So you'll be seeing me post like a different look every day. You can take a quiz. You can even create your own frame around an existing picture that you have, and you can share it directly to your Facebook. So girls are gonna fall in love with this. And then within the site, we'll find the lead generation page, which Andrea mentioned. And this lead generation page is totally Girl Squad. We have our Become a Consultant page, which is very generalized, and this is more focused to this generation to gain more consultants within the millennial generation. Yes.
And that's on our websites too, right?
Yes.
Because I just happened to click it and look down and I went, oh, that's.
Yeah, it's on the tab Become a Consultant. And it will live there for a little while and change back over. But now you have the ability to really focus on gaining more consultants within this age group, and it's a really great opportunity to share. Then we have these Girl Squad boxes. This is a totally separate campaign that we are sending out about mid-October, so we're coming up on it. What we're doing is we're sending out 2,000 boxes to existing millennial consultants so that they can get their hands on these boxes and share them. Andrea likes to tell a story of Paula coming up to us and saying, girls, we need something that's shareable. And we're like, well, how do we do that? So we went back into our minds and we're like, well, we've all been to those scavenger hunt parties or a bridesmaid party, and you find Todd and you take a picture with him at the bar, or you eat 5 different types of fries or something crazy on that list. So within this box, we are encouraging people to, when they receive them, go on this scavenger hunt with us, and all through our social media channels, so through Instagram. We want this to be Snap worthy, we want it to be Instagram worthy, we want it to be a shared experience. So we're giving them part of the collection plus a few extras to take pictures with and share as a group of friends. So thank you very much. I don't know if you have anything else to add, but we are so excited to be with you here today. If you guys have any questions about this collection, grab us, yell at us, and I'm gonna, yes.
I just want to say you should be very proud of yourself. You've done a wonderful job.
Take the team. We're here with part of them and a few of them back at the office, but it takes a team and a great leader. And I'm going to hand you back over to her to explain even further into products that you'll sure fall in love with. So thank you.
Thank you so much, my dear ladies. Well, there's some questions about the boxes. We have 40,000 consultants in Georgia, and from these 40,000, we have 6,000 in the entire country that are millennials. So what we are doing with these boxes, Jake work in all the strategy to select the cities in where we have more concentration of consultants, of millennial consultants, and for sure is one of it is LA. So it's LA, Dallas, and New York. So these consultants in these cities will be receiving these box. More or less in October 20th. This is not a box that we are going to sell. We don't want sales. It is not an incentive either. This is a brand awareness strategy only to give to these consultants the the role to share the brand as ambassadors. Okay, so this is the strategy. So they are not going to pay for this box. They are going to receive the box, and with these tasks, that is all the homework that Alex already said. So sounds clear? Yeah? Okay. Okay, let's continue with other things. We have more generations, not only the millennials. So we have more brands to share, and we are running late, so I will be very fast with this. So we have Adoris. Adoris is one of the most popular brands, franchises in our Java portfolio. So Adoris, when we talk about franchise, a franchise is a brand that has more brands under the brand. So this is Adoris, is the same woman, as you can see. This woman has different personalities because we have different sub-brands under this main brand. Okay? So we have the Adoris Classic, that is the leader. She is the CEO of the brand. She says, follow my lead. She's confident, she's elegant. But this woman also has this personality. She's glamorous as well. She can be very glamorous with Adoris Gold, pure gold. And also she can be so tender, and she can dream with Adoris Velvet. So we have another face of this woman that is Adoris Night, on the night. So this is the personality of the brand. As you can see, she has a beautiful dress and she has a handsome guy there with her, right? So this is the personality of the brand. She is like, wow, with the guy, so beautiful. So let's see the aromatic family of this new brand. So we know that the top notes are the first that we are going to perceive in a fragrance, but as well they are the first that going away. Okay? So in the top notes we have bergamot. Bergamot is a very popular scent that even the aromatherapy used for give energy to a product. So it's bergamot is about energy. So this is the main note that we have here, and I would like to give away a mini and a bookmark that you are going to receive like this to see what is the main notes that you have in the product. So you can use this bookmark in your brochure or in your agenda, but it has the main notes. You will receive one for your squad as well. And by the way, we forgot to tell you that you are going to receive this bag with a holiday brochure, with the product catalog, also the 2 eyeliners of Girl Squad, the mini glosses, and the mini from Girl Squad. Okay? Okay, so let's talk about the notes. So on the top we have bergamot, and in the heart we have neroli, that is the main note, and it is citric as well. So, and we have on the bottom we have white chocolate tonka bean, and sandalwood. So these notes are very essential, and the chocolate is the note that that gives the gourmand touch to this product. Gourmand means that it has some ingredients from gourmets, like for example, Paris et Noir, it has macarons. Here we have the chocolate because you can eat the chocolate. So that is what gourmand means. Okay? So you can imagine this handsome guy. Close your eyes. Imagine the handsome guy, and imagine him giving you a piece of chocolate, white chocolate. Imagine, right? Did you picture that? So, let's do the ritual then. Imagine that you are going to go out with this handsome man. So, for the kids, for the club, and just in case. Okay? So that is the ritual of aperitif. So continue. So I would like to show you the personality of this franchise with a video. This video is in Spanish because Mexico was the first country that in launching this brand, but we have already the version in English. Okay, so and you are going to find it in the social.jafra.com. And we have two versions. We have the complete version without the franchise, and we have different videos, mini videos about each one of the brands. Okay, so let's see. And as you may know, this product is not alone. We have a limited color collection in the launch. So we have the color palette that is on trend with the fall winter color trends. And we have two shades of the lipstick with a special packaging. And you can see here how the brand looks, very beautiful, right? So, well, this is one thing that we have, but let's talk about our favorite brand, that is Royal Jelly, our top brand. And in this case, I would like to present to introduce to you some new products that we are going to have in the Jafra Royal Jelly color. So, this is in November. This is new in November, and it's a translucent powder that we will have opening the brochure of November. So this is a silk finish translucent powder, and it has the benefits that Royal Jelly has. And also, oh, you are not happy because of this beautiful color. Would you like it? Yeah? Okay. And what else do we have? We have 4 shades of the Royal Jelly lipstick. So this means that we have now 12 shades instead of 8. So we just launched these 4 new shades in the holiday preview as well. So now the brand looks like this, and in 2018 you will see this brand grow because we are going to include more products. Remember that this brand is about royal jelly and it's about benefits. That's why the lipstick is not permanent color. It's full coverage, but it's not that doesn't last a lot because of the benefits of the product, because it has vitamin E, irons. So I think it is a great product. It's one of my favorites. So we have now 12 shades, and we will see in 2018. Sorry, we will have the release stage of this lipstick as well. Okay, so now I would like to share with you some videos, mini videos that you can download from the social.
Jafra.com.
Perfect. To share. Let's see. This is one example. I have another one. Do you like it? So this is for skincare, and with this mini videos you can share our brand, like very, as you can see, it's very beautiful. The look is very beautiful, and it's very like dynamic. So this is what we have for you. Thank you very much for having me. We are going to do a break, and you will receive in this mini break only 5 minutes, and you are going to receive your bag. Okay? So thank you very much for coming. And Scott is going to continue with you. We have just 5 minutes, right?
Still have some color.